By early 1943, the Allied advance had reached a stalemate. To break the Axis grip on Europe, they needed a foothold in the south, but every path was blocked by heavy defenses. Geography dictated the next move. Sicily was the only logical staging ground for an invasion of Italy, creating a predictable bottleneck that the Allies couldn't bypass. Adolf Hitler recognized this vulnerability and poured resources into the island's defense. A direct assault against these prepared positions threatened to be a massacre. Standard military strategy offered no way around these fortifications. Success required a total manipulation of the enemy's intelligence, forcing them to redirect their strength based on a lie. Within the cramped offices of British naval intelligence, Ewan Montagu and Charles Cholmondeley were tasked with finding a way to crack that defense without a frontal assault. Their solution was as macabre as it was creative. They would plant fabricated invasion plans on a corpse and allow it to drift into the hands of German agents. Despite the risks, the proposal reached the highest level of government. Winston Churchill personally authorized the mission, seeing it as the only way to achieve surprise. With the plan approved, the success of the Mediterranean campaign now rested on the credibility of a single fabricated identity. The stakes for thousands of soldiers were concentrated into the contents of one briefcase. To make the lie work, the team needed a body. They selected Glyndwr Michael, a 34-year-old homeless man who had recently died in London after consuming rat poison. Michael's cause of death was a cold, tactical choice. The poison caused a buildup of fluid in the lungs that would convincingly mimic drowning to any Axis coroner. They erased Michael's tragic past and replaced it with a military career. He was reborn as Major William Martin of the Royal Marines. The core of the deception was a series of forged letters between high-ranking generals. These documents explicitly identified other Mediterranean islands as the primary targets, framing Sicily as a mere distraction. To withstand scrutiny, they filled his pockets with pocket litter, the mundane evidence of a real life. Each item was carefully chosen to build a profile of a man with a busy personal life. The most convincing touch was a photograph of a fictional fiancée named Pam. They included her love letters to ensure he felt like a real person. By focusing on these intimate human details, British intelligence exploited the natural tendency of their enemies to believe a story that felt lived in and emotionally complex. In April 1943, the operation moved from the office to the field. Major Martin was placed in a pressurized container and loaded onto a submarine. Off the coast of Huelva, Spain, the crew released the body into the tide. A briefcase containing the fake invasion plans was chained securely to his wrist. The choice of Spain was deliberate. Though officially neutral, the region was a known hub for German intelligence, ensuring the top-secret documents would be found and reported quickly. Once the body was in the water, the British could do nothing but wait. The fate of the mission was now in the hands of the Spanish authorities and the German spies watching them. The currents worked exactly as planned. Spanish fishermen recovered the body, and within days, the secret documents were being photographed by German agents. The reports reached the highest levels of the German military command. They found no reason to doubt the authenticity of Major Martin. Hitler was so convinced by the letters that he overrode his own generals. He ordered a massive redistribution of forces, moving elite divisions from Sicily to the beaches of Greece. The deception succeeded because it provided the German leadership with exactly what they were looking for: a clear, documented reason to focus their defenses elsewhere. On July 10, 1943, the real invasion began. Operation Husky hit the shores of Sicily against a fractured and diminished defense. The ruse was so effective that even as Allied troops were marching across Sicily, German command remained hesitant, still half expecting the real attack to come in Greece. After the war, Ewan Montagu revealed the details of the operation to the public, documenting how a single fake officer had helped turn the tide of the war. Decades later, the true identity of the man behind Major Martin was finally acknowledged. Glyndwr Michael's name was added to the memorial in Spain. The capture of Sicily was made possible by an army that didn't exist and a commander who never lived. Glendower Michael, a man forgotten in life, had become one of the most effective weapons in the Allied arsenal.